At first, it scared me. The thought alone was enough to fill my mind with a series of anxious reminders of our approaching fates. But it doesn't discriminate. It never does. It doesn't care whether you are black or white, rich or poor. Death never discriminates. It sure as hell didn't when it took my girlfriend. So why should I be afraid of something that takes whenever it pleases? Something that comes without warning, waiting for the right moment to strike. Like a disease slowly manifesting itself inside a child's body, or a fire consuming a home along with its inhabitants. People are supposed to grieve after losing someone dear to their hearts, right? Then why do I still feel like a hollowed out version of my previous self after months of this life-shattering dish called grief, served with a side of therapy and medication? Was it because I never had a chance to say goodbye? Was it because the asshole bus driver that hit Chloe won the lawsuit because of some procedural error? To this day, I am still not sure. I bet my poetic mind is searching for reasons far beyond my comprehension, while the answer is clear to everyone but me. Chloe was my soulmate, and life just isn't worth living without her. I spent most of my days visiting the cemetery. The autumn rain shifts my mood from plain depression to one of melancholy. Chloe loved rainy days, and we used to go on long hiking trips, accompanied by nothing more than each other and the sound of drizzle hitting the surrounding forest trees. I took it all for granted. The morning coffee she made me, the kisses, the sex, even the sad situations, fights we had, or lesser periods in our 6-year relationship. Our lives had intertwined into an irremovable knot even the sharpest knife couldn't cut. There is something oddly beautiful about losing someone that you love. It allows you to develop your subconsciousness in ways you could have never imagined. Death is the best teacher I have ever had. Allow me to cut to the chase. At first, I thought it was the pills. I had grown the habit of tapping the pill box, ingesting any number of capsules falling within the palm of my hand. Worst case scenario, it was only one. Best case scenario, I dozed off for the entire night. That particular night, I was in luck. 4 pills had found their way into my mouth, and it didn't take long for me to disappear into the voids of my imagination, falling into a deep, deep sleep. I didn't notice it at first, but after waking up, I could not move. I had convinced myself that I was about to throw up any second now, overdosing on my medication. And frankly, I was okay with that. Nothing. Only the silence of the night and soft breathing. Not my breathing, but the breathing of someone familiar. Someone that shouldn't be here. Did I already die? Was this God's punishment for taking the coward's way out? An eternal night with my dead girlfriend sleeping next to me, unable to move and embrace her or even watch her sleep. I laid next to Chloe for what felt like hours. Hours of softly sobbing as to not wake her. Hours of internal screaming while attempting to move my body that had betrayed me by turning itself into a prison. And even though I couldn't feel anything, I could feel the sensation of Chloe cuddling up to me, breathing into my ear and whispering, "Do you think that the man who killed me sleeps at night?" Or do you think that he lies awake crying too, just like you? Even though it had been months since we last spoke, Chloe's voice sounded just like how I remembered it. A little worried, yet calming and warm. Her smell filled my nostrils, and I tried inhaling for as long as I possibly could. I really miss you, you know. If only there was a way for you to join me. Tears rolled down my cheeks, and I could feel a finger wiping the sorrow-infused liquid from my face. "Don't cry, darling," Chloe whispered with a taunting little chuckle. "You know it makes me sad too." I never wanted to leave this moment. I wish I could bottle up this feeling. The feeling of all this anxiety leaving my body, mixed with hints of pure love and nostalgia. Chloe crawled on top of me and slowly yet passionately started kissing my neck. Forget what I said about bottling those previous feelings. Please, let me bottle this moment instead so I can revisit it every single day for the rest of my life. Chloe and I became one for the first time in months. It didn't matter that I couldn't feel anything. The idea of us making love gave me a burst of feelings that I thought I had long lost. It's simple, you know. Chloe had stopped moving and looked me straight in the eyes. I get to make a request, and the person that complies gets to join me when he dies. I want that person to be you. You know my story, and you have learned what Chloe means to me. I would do anything to be with her in life and death. No request is too big, or so I thought. "Kill him," she whispered. Chloe got up, and the moonlight shone brightly on her beautiful silhouette. It didn't take more than a blink, and before I knew it, she had disappeared, leaving nothing behind but the smell of her golden hair. I don't regret what I am about to do. I can't stop thinking about that night, and I have since failed to return to Chloe. Maybe my conversation with her never happened. It might just have been a figment of my imagination, but I have to make sure. There is nothing left in this world for me anyway, besides eternal grief and sorrow. I will break into his home tonight, and I will slit his throat. I will end the life of the man that took Chloe's, and after that, I will take my own, so that we can be one once again. Before my knife pierces his windpipe, I will replicate the exact words Chloe said to me just minutes before she died. Words she uttered every time I acted silly or convinced her to do stuff she didn't like. The things we do for love.